Hi, this is Dr. Darnise, and I just wanted to come on with another video here. And this one's a little bit different. It's not so much a how-to or informative about a particular practice per se, but I will be back with more of those. But first, let me say thank you for coming back on and for following me, for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Lets me know that you all are interested in this teaching, and I appreciate it. But this one is about, Kanye and his statement about slavery being a choice. And probably you know about me that I'm a professor and I teach African American religion, I teach um, African American studies, history. And so when I heard this from Kanye, I said, wow, he's so disconnected. He doesn't know our history. But aside from that, aside from even the particularities of history that he seems not to know or not to be connected to, what really is um, concerning is the disrespect to the ancestors. So this video is really about, you know, showing reverence to the ancestors and what that's really about. So when I heard this from Kanye, I thought, it's like he just walked over to grandma and slapped her. And I thought, who, what child does that? Right? Can you just imagine? What child gets up and walks over and slaps their grandmother across the face? I don't know about y'all, but I wouldn't be alive, I'm sure, if I did such a thing. It's just not done, right? And so for Kanye to say that is such a disrespect to our ancestors because those people who, some of whom we know, some of whom, most of whom we don't know, if it hadn't been for them making a way for us, we would not be, right? And we know, obviously, genetically, we're connected to them. We are the extensions of them. And if it hadn't been from, one getting with the other and making us, we wouldn't be here. But in addition, from a broader, more spiritual perspective, we couldn't uh, maintain our anything without them, our essence. They have poured out, in the spiritual realm, they've poured out in the ethereal realm and continue to do so that we may thrive and survive. And, people ask me questions like, well, how do I maintain an ancestor altar? Or how am I in touch with my ancestors? In other words, what do I need to know about, my ancestors and how to venerate them? And is it really worshiping them? And is that okay to do? And so what I would really want to tell you is I maintain an ancestor altar and I suggest it. One of the reasons is because our ancestors are our first line of support and defense on the other side. So on this side, we have our family units, and we may or may not be on the best of terms. But they say blood is thicker than water. And so when stuff happens and you need help, it's going to be your family who will help you more so than others, usually. Some people have some different situations. I have to acknowledge that. But for the most part, it's going to be your family who stands up to support you, who goes out of their way to help you. Likewise, on the other side, we tend to think, oh, death means that they're no longer present and they're no longer anything to us other than a memory. And so, what I would like to reinforce for us is that no, they are still a powerful spiritual essence for us to tap into and who are continually pouring into us. And if we acknowledge it, they are really with us. So, what should you do to honor them? Acknowledge them, call their names, play their favorite music. I love to light a candle and play their favorite music. My mother loved the Temptations, and so I play the Temptations. I play all kinds of, and Teddy Pendergrass. She loves some Teddy Pendergrass. And so when I'm thinking about her, like Mother's Day is coming up, I'll do that. The last thing I want to do is do something disrespectful to them. Like, why would I do that? Why would I be disrespectful to the people who are my first line of defense and support? There's a whole line of the ancestors, most of whom I don't know. But I believe that they're interested in me carrying on. I believe that they are, and therefore they're present as much as I acknowledge them, as much as I can appreciate and show respect. So to be disrespectful to them is to say, I don't need you, I don't care about you. And I would no more do that than I would have walked over to my grandmother and slapped her across the face. There's no amount of money that you could have given me to make me do that. Without her scrubbing somebody's floors, without her cooking food for white people, without her having to take abuse, physical, verbal abuse, I couldn't have gone to school. I wouldn't have had the freedom to go and get my bachelor's and master's and my PhD. Without my great grandmother, again, on her knees scrubbing floors, I couldn't do that. So how, Kanye, how does he say, oh, that was a choice and you all are what, lazy or stupid because you didn't get yourselves out of it fast enough? How does he say what you should have done was this? No, we can't even really imagine what it is like to be on a slave ship, to be auctioned off, to be forced into labor, to be beaten with whips, to be raped, to have our children ripped from us and sold off, to have our language and culture removed from us. We cannot imagine it. We are in a very privileged position. And so for me to hear Kanye say those things is so deeply disturbing. So deeply disturbing because, apparently he cared a great deal for his own mother who passed. And I just don't think that he would have walked over to his mother and slapped her across the face. And so when I say he's disconnected, I think he doesn't quite understand that what he said is disrespectful to the lives that they lived and how they had to survive with nothing, right? The tools at hand, the tools that they could create. They gave us the spirituals. They gave us a legacy about survival, how to make a way out of no way. They gave us a form of religion that was different from what the white people gave them. Christianity they turned it into a freedom focused kind of religion. And so, this video is about that. It's about revering the ancestors and moving away from this idea that Kanye spewed out, maybe in a flippant moment, who knows really. But to reclaim, I'm about reclaiming right now, reclaiming our connection to the ancestors, reclaiming the value and wisdom of our African traditional religions. That's what I'm about right now. And so upon hearing him say that, I said, I have to come on and make a video to remind my people who I think already know this. Our connection to the ancestors is great. They care for us as we care for them. And it is unacceptable to us anything that disrespects them. So I'm going to leave it there. If you have any further questions about, and the ancestors and how you might set up your own altar, what it is you might do, let me know. I will tell you that I definitely feel the presence of my parents who have, I say both passed, but I guess I had four because my parents divorced and had, stepped, and I had a stepmother and a stepfather on each side. So all of them, though, have gone. All of them now are among the realm of ancestors for me. Uh, so I honor them. And so if you have any questions about that, I'd be happy to answer them. But as I was saying, I feel them, and I feel their positive influence in my life, and they help me in some situations where I know it's them. I mean, they really transform some circumstances. That's the power of this thing. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up and just say bye for now. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. You know, I will appreciate that. And until next time, bye for now.